Good morning, Hawks. Today is Monday, April 28th, 2025. My name is Emma Campa.
And my name is Sofia Morin. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the Texas Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Please remain standing for a moment of silence.
Thank you. You may now be seated. For today's announcements, we'll first look at our attendance.
Our attendance daily average for yesterday was 93.61%. Our weekly attendance average is 94.22%. Hawks, let's try and reach 97% and be present in school every day.
For our clubs and sports section, we have the following announcements.
Support the Horizon Middle School cheerleading team by purchasing a jean pass for $10. This pass allows teachers and staff to wear jeans every Wednesday starting April 2nd. To participate, please wear a blue top or an autism awareness shirt with your jeans. Jean passes can be purchased from any cheerleader or in room 320. Thank you for your support.
Students and teachers are allowed to wear a purple shirt to show support for our military students. Make sure you're still following the dress code.
Order your 2024 through 2025 yearbook $30 with Ms. Hernandez, room 317. Cash only.
Hawks, there is still time for you to join the chess club to learn. Meetings are every Tuesday from 4 to 5 in room 306 with Mr. Garcia.
Happy Cafeteria Workers Appreciation Week. We sincerely thank you for nourishing us every day.
It is important to always be in dress code on a daily basis. You must be wearing a solid black, gray, or white polo shirt that is tucked in at all times. Only natural hair color is allowed.
On Thursdays, you are allowed to wear college or military shirts, and don't forget to show your Hawk spirit on Fridays. Remember, no hoodies or torn jeans are allowed on campus. We always want to dress for success.
Let's go to Studio 2 with Miss Reese.
Good morning, Hawks. I hope you all are having a wonderful Monday morning and you enjoyed your weekend. Teachers, just a reminder that the attendance committee will be meeting on Tuesday, April 29th, and the campus improvement team will be meeting on Wednesday, April 30th. Please make sure you have submitted your time off requests. Teachers, also, please don't forget to view your walkthroughs and coaching cycles in Eduphoria. We will be having a mandatory Viva La Fiesta meeting for all teachers. You do need to attend one of the meetings. It'll either be today after school or Tuesday at 7:45 in room 308. Students who still owe house bill hours or attendance hours, I do want to take this time to remind you that you must be reporting to tutoring on a weekly basis to make up those hours. If you still owe hours, when we have our field day, you will not be able to participate. You will sit in our credit recovery room so you can make up the hours that you owe. But I will tell you, Hawks, that is not going to be enough time for a lot of you who owe quite a bit of hours. A great big shout out to all of our teachers and students for last week's testing. All grade levels have earned another class set of water balloons. So right now, our 6th graders have 2 water balloons per student, our 7th graders have 2 water balloons per student, and our 8th graders have 3 water balloons per student. We do want to remind you that cell phones and earbuds must be turned off and out of sight. If it is seen, heard, or being used, it will be picked up and a $15 fee will be charged. Our focus is on your learning, and these devices are a huge distraction, Hawks. Students, we do want to remind you that it is important for you to take care of your bodies and your minds every single day. This can easily be done by eating a healthy breakfast, lunch, and dinner on a daily basis. Your body is growing and it needs nourishment to build your muscles and help you stay focused. Be sure to grab breakfast every morning and remember that you can use the share table if there is something that you don't want. I do also want to remind all students that you are required. Required means you must, you have to eat lunch on a daily basis. Everyone should be going through the lunch line unless you brought your own lunch from home. And I always want to remind you that chips and a soda are not considered lunch. Talking about sodas, we do want to remind you that you can only bring water to school. Only water is allowed. There should not be any other drinks such as sports drinks, energy drinks, sodas, or anything else. Even if it is frozen, Hawks, you can't bring it. Only water is allowed. Also, we do want to remind you that you are not allowed to sell anything on campus without an approved fundraiser request. Hawks, we are going to celebrate using water balloons, but they are only allowed on the field day and only the ones that will be provided by administration. You cannot be bringing your own balloons to school. No more confetti eggs. Nothing should be brought to school. We are doing severe punishments for those who are caught with them. Our campus vision is building resilient achievers as our leaders. We can reach our vision by following our PBIS Hawk core values. Be responsible, be respectful, be safe, and be present. Students, we do want to remind you, being present isn't just about being here, although we do want you to be here every day, but it's also about actively participating in your classroom, being part of those discussions, the activities, the assignments, reporting to class every day, every period, and being here on time. We do have an attendance challenge. The admin team is challenging students to meet 97% attendance each day. For every day that your class has 97% attendance, you will earn an additional 50 water balloons for your class. Let's see which grade level will get the most water balloons. Good luck, Hawks. Our campus vision is building resilient. Oops, we already said that. Never forget that you are loved here at Horizon Middle School. We are happy that you are here each and every day. Someone hasn't told you they love you today, Hawks. I'm telling you, I love you, and I hope you have an amazing day. Every day in every way, you are getting better and better, so don't stop reaching for your goals. The decisions you make today affect you tomorrow, so always make those great decisions. Have a great day, Hawks. Now let's go back to Studio One with our anchors.
Thank you, Miss Reese.
Next, we have our counselors, Ms. Gutierrez and Ms. Gomez, with their SEL lesson.
Good morning. Hopefully, we all had a peaceful, restful weekend. So let's get started with our SEL lesson for today. So we're going to talk about honesty. Honesty is very important, and I know that sometimes it's hard to be honest because we rather weigh the consequences than to be truthful. But remember, like the old saying, honesty is the best policy. So let's see what we have to learn about honesty. What is honesty? Honesty is telling the truth. It is when you explain what really happened, and it is not spreading rumors. That's very important. Honesty is not spreading rumors or gossip. And again, honesty is not cheating or stealing. Remember, being truthful is always best. So what is the value of honesty? For one, it builds trust. That's very important because when you start lying, you lose trust from your teachers, from your parents, and most important, from your parents and your family. So it explains how fosters trust in personal and professional relationships. We always want to have and build that trust. It also builds our reputation. People are going to respect us, and we're going to have a good reputation. And also, when we lie, the truth sooner or later comes out. Sooner or later comes out. So it gives us that mental peace and well-being, and also it fosters opportunities. What does that mean? Well, if someone knows that you're trustworthy, you're respectful, and you have a good reputation, you're going to be team captains in your sport teams. You're going to be part of a sport team. Maybe you're going to have leadership roles like being part of Stuco, or any other type of group. Remember, again, the value of honesty, it builds trust, respect, and a positive and good reputation. It gives us mental peace and well-being because we don't want to stress about being caught in a lie, and it gives us opportunities. So what do we do when navigating a difficult situation? Social pressures. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you go along with the group, the friends, and you feel like you have to lie to cover what has happened. Remember, honesty is always the best policy. The truth always comes out. And a big one, fear of consequences. Well, if I tell the truth, I'm going to get in trouble with my parents. I'm going to get my phone taken away. I'm going to get in trouble at school. Again, let me remind you, the truth comes out eventually, and the consequences are going to be harsher. And sometimes adults tend to have more leniency towards you than when you're honest than when you don't tell the truth. And difficult conversations, we don't always want to admit that we messed up. But remember, when we admit we are wrong and that we lied or weren't honest, it builds that trust, and people are going to respect us, and it helps our reputation, and they're going to have empathy for us. They're going to understand how we feel. So embracing honesty. It is a part of self-reflection. So we encourage ourselves and you to reflect on whether you are honest, what are your values and your principle. Communicate honestly. Communicate with truth, not rumors, not gossip, not what they said. Ms. Gutierrez and I always hear that famous word, they. We don't know who they are, but they is very powerful because we always get that they. No, communicate with honesty, not rumors or gossip, and face the consequences. Sometimes we have to take our punishment for not being truthful, but it's better than to be known as a liar, having a bad reputation, and not being somebody that is respectful or respected. So honesty or dishonest. We're going to now give that to Ms. Gutierrez, and she'll continue the lesson.
Good morning, Hawks, and welcome to Monday. Let's go ahead and continue with honesty and dishonesty. So what is the difference between the two? What is honesty? It's being honest. It means that you say things that are truthful. We always need to operate on the truth, because after a while, if you're telling one lie and another lie, and before you know it, you're telling more lies to cover up for that first lie, and then after a while, you don't even know who you lied to and what you said. So it becomes very, very complicated. You don't want to live your life in that, because it leaves you to a life of turmoil. And you want to have a life of peace. Being truthful means you say or show what happened in the real world. And it's based on facts, not imagination. So you don't start to embellish things and create things that really didn't happen. So what are some of the ways to be honest? Well, always telling the truth, because it is the best thing. Not hiding the truth, and acting truthfully. Just be honest with people around you. Saying what really happened and base it on the facts. Showing or telling the whole truth. Not doing things that involve tricking or hurting others for your own benefit. And sometimes we try to tell those lies to cover up because we're afraid we're going to get into trouble, but then you end up getting someone else into trouble that really wasn't a part of the lies that you've told. So you need to be really careful with that, especially if you want to keep people around you that you want to be your friends. Lying is dishonest, and hiding the truth is called deceit or trickery, and it's dishonest. You act like cheating, stealing, and misleading. Those kind of acts are also dishonest. And sometimes without thinking, you get yourself into a lie, and it blows up a little bit. The best thing is come back and just be truthful about it. And maybe you have been a little dishonest with a friend, and they find out about it and they're upset. Probably they're upset for a reason. That doesn't mean that you can't earn that trust back from that friend. They have to give you the opportunity. But if you do, take the opportunity and start being honest from that day forward. And don't just be honest with others. You've got to be honest with yourself. And this is a real big one. Try to really know why you're acting in a certain way or whether what you tell yourself is true. Because sometimes the lies are not just to everybody else, but you're lying to yourself. And that's the worst thing. You've got to have self-pride in who you are. And try to be honest when you think you're trying to convince yourself you didn't really do some things wrong. You know, we all know when we've done something that is inappropriate or something that's wrong. You just need to fess up right away because it makes it worse if you just hold on to that or keep building on those lies. Or it wasn't that bad. Sometimes we tell us, well, it's just a little white lie. A lie is a lie. A lie is a lie. The truth is the truth. Stick with that. And even though you know that it was bad, sometimes that's what comes out of our mouth. We need to be honest with ourselves first and foremost. And why is honesty important? Being dishonest breaks that trust. Telling the truth builds trust. And because of this, honesty is the best policy as it shows that you can be respected and that you're a person who can be relied on. People want to be able to rely on you, especially as you get older and you start moving into the workforce. You need to say what you say and mean what you say so people can trust you. And honesty is important for people to live together peacefully. And again, like I said earlier, you want to have that peace in your life. You don't want to live in turmoil because you've told some lies. We need to know that our family and friends have a common belief in being truthful and trustworthy in order to feel safe and to get along. And that's the main thing that we want you to walk away with today. So your reflection, you can have this with your teachers in your classroom. How do you think your parents or your siblings will feel if you lie to them? I'm sure it would hurt their feelings. Or if you flip it, if your sibling is lying to you, how you feel at that moment. And what do you think will happen if a person is not being honest? There are many consequences that come with that. Again, make good choices, you're going to have those good consequences. Bad choices, bad consequences. Why is it important to be an honest person? You just want to be respected. You want to have that value that you show forth that your families are instilling in you. Okay, and so getting away from that just for a little bit, just to remind you all, it is on our website, our social media, and we're going to send a message out to parents. This is for the parents, but we're going to have Loteria Fun with the counselors and Project Vida this coming Thursday, May the 1st. At 10 a.m. in the library. So share that with your parents because we're going to have some fun games and prizes for them as we wrap up the year. Hawks, that's it for today. Make it a great day or not. The choice is yours. Now back to our anchors in Studio 1.
Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez and Ms. Gomez. This concludes our morning announcements.
Teachers, remember to follow the 5-step plan. Please check students for dress code. That's all for today.
Have a great day, Hawks.